Yes, we are live. Hello, everyone. Hello. Welcome to this very insightful session with Sailesh sir from Value Stocks. We'll wait for everyone to join in for a couple of minutes, and then we'll begin the session. So I see we already have people joining in. Folks, if you have any questions for Sailesh sir, please drop them in the chat below. Once Sailesh sir is done with his talk, we'll obviously take a round of Q&A with Sailesh sir. You can put in your questions in the chat below. By the way, Sailesh sir, it's such an honor to do this webinar with you, with such an esteemed member. Very grateful, sir.
Thank you, Pratham.
I see we already have people joining in, so let's just get started. So folks, we have with us Sailesh sir over here. Sailesh sir is the MD of Dynamic Equities. Uh, uh, Fact about Sailesh sir has been in the stock market. In fact, value stocks has been in the stock market for the past 28 years now. I mean, that is such an honor it's in itself because when Sailesh sir and value stocks started their journey, I wasn't even born yet. So that is such a privilege to have him here with us today. And the topic that we are going to be primarily be speaking about is going to be green energy. And yeah, I guess that's it. I will hand over the stage to Sailesh sir. Sailesh sir, please, you can proceed.
So good evening, friends. I'm very thankful to the Dhan team to invite me to speak about wealth creation. So I'm a fund manager. My company name is Dynamic Equities. Value Stocks, we started this fund in 2020. We are in small case and you can invest in my fund very easily through small case and through Dhan. So if you're a Dhan customer, you can invest in my product in 2 to 3 minutes. So today we will share about green energy. We have 8 themes which we feel is the future. Everybody knows that green energy is the future. So we'll go in the details of the green energy today, and you'll see that what is the possibility, what is the opportunity in green energy stocks in the next 5 to 10 years, or maybe even 20 years. Okay. Uh, Probably we'll be doing other themes in the Dhan platform. So that will be infrastructure construction, maybe later. We'll also discuss digital public infrastructure, aerospace and defense, semiconductors, public sectors. Stocks are doing very well. Electric vehicles and hotels and resorts. We feel that these 8 themes are the future for the next 10 years. So today, let's start the journey because you have come to know about green energy today. So let's discuss green energy, and you'll understand what are the stocks in the green energy which which will be fantastic for wealth creation. So let's start the presentation on green energy. Okay, so let's start first. Let's understand let's understand macro. This is from the Ministry of Power. What is the total installed capacity in India right now of electricity? It is 434 gigawatt. My person is marking, if you see, is marking on the screen. It is 434 gigawatts. That is the present installed capacity of electricity in the country. Okay. And there is an increasing demand of 60 gigawatts per year. Increasing demand of 60 gigawatts per year. Okay. Why there is a demand? Because there is a demand because the electricity is required in every sphere of life. Right now, the rural electricity is going through massive demand. Previously, they didn't have electricity. Now they want a fan, they want TV, they want air condition. So obviously, it consumes electricity. So there is a huge rural electricity. Agriculture is a prime focus of the country. For the running of the pumps, we need electricity. The manufacturing and the industries is going through massive growth. That means electricity. There's a domestic demand, urban demand. So according to statistics of the Ministry of Power, we need 60 gigawatts per year extra. Okay. For your information, 1 gigawatt cost about 7,000 crore rupees. Okay, between 7 to 8,000. So 7,000 crore rupees per gigawatt is the cost. That means there is a demand of approximately 4,20,000 crore rupees per year. So Ministry of Power, if you see the figure of 783, so and if you see the figure of 2030 above, okay. So if you see here, we in 6 years, we need approximately 780 to 800 gigawatts of installed capacity. So that translates to about 25 lakh crore rupees investments in the green energy space. That's a huge investment to develop electricity in the country. Okay. Now this is the first, there is a huge demand. Now, second issue is, if you go to the previous slide, the coal-based electricity presently is 210 gigawatt. How much? 210 gigawatt. Okay. And right now, because of the Paris Agreement, India has decided that they will not increase coal-based electricity because of pollution concerns and because of environmental concerns. We cannot increase coal-based electricity. So what is the government target? What is the government going to do? So government is going to increase the wind from 45 to 122 gigawatts in the next 6 years. That is an increase of approximately 70 gigawatt, approximately 67 to 70 gigawatts is required in the wind. And the solar will be increased from 75 to 275. Okay. So this is basically where we have to focus, where I will show you the focus, that which are the stocks which are doing very well in this space and what is the demand. So there is a 25 lakh crore demand of electricity. This is called green energy. Green energy is from renewable sources. So electricity made through wind will increase by 67 to 70 gigawatt. Solar will increase from 75 to 275 gigawatt. Okay. So you will see a huge uh, uh, demand for electricity being made through wind and solar. Now, if you see the government, last budget 2023, there was a slogan, Har Ghar Solar. And government was giving a lot of schemes, that if you install solar in your house, you will get benefits. Okay. Even if you study in the last 15 days, Nirmala Sitaram just removed the custom duty tax on solar. Now, how many companies are there in wind? There are very few companies. Very few companies which are doing wind and very few companies which are doing solar in the country. Some of the big companies which is generating electricity we have mentioned here. Okay. So this is the macro demand. Now, how do we use this to do wealth creation? Okay. And why should you invest in my strategies? Because we have done deep study on these stocks. Okay. So I'll show you the ecosystem. Let's understand the ecosystem. What happens? The ecosystem, please. Okay. Now, what happens? Which are the top companies in doing in solar? So there are only about 12 companies which are doing solar right now. Okay. So I've mentioned few companies here. Now, again, as a responsible, because you are in public, we are a SEBI registered RIA, but we do not take any responsibility for any loss or risk. So we are showing you the companies which is doing well in the solar space. Does not mean that this is a recommendation to buy. Okay, so please be careful, take your own due diligence. It is a standard warning which we have to give it to everyone. All stocks discussed here is not a recommendation to buy. We are discussing this so we can understand what is happening in the space. Okay, so when you discuss stocks, again, we are repeating, it is not a recommendation to buy, but we are discussing for the knowledge so that you understand what is happening and which are the stocks related to those things, because that makes the viewer understand the entire macroeconomics and which are the stocks doing well. And then you can take your informed decision by it. Okay, so some of the stocks like Vari, I don't know if you should study. Vari, there is listed in BSE and there's an unlisted company of Vari. So, huge company which is doing about 3 gigawatt of, has already installed 3 gigawatt of, Now HW Solar is owned by Reliance. Then you have KPI Green, Tata Power, everybody knows. You have Web Solar. Okay, so these are few companies. Obviously, I'm not mentioning Adani here, but they are also there, you know. So solar companies are there here. And then in the wind thing, there are three companies which are doing well: Tata Power, Suzlon, and Inox Wind. Okay, there are companies, other companies also. So in solar, we rely there are only 12 or 13 companies which is in the listed space. Okay, in the wind space also, there are few companies only. So there are only 15-20 companies, and there is a demand of 25 lakh crores in the next 6 years. Okay. I don't know if you know the prices. I'll show you the returns of these stocks, also. But again, warning, do not get excited. I'll repeat this again and again because we are on YouTube and we have to be a responsible person whenever we are discussing stocks. Okay. So we are just trying to show you what is happening in the green energy space. Now, after they generate electricity through solar and farm, we need transformers. There is a huge demand of transformers right now in the country, huge demand. Some of the stock which is doing well, you have Siemens, you have ABB, you have Indotech, you have Voltam, you have transformer rectifiers, some of the stocks. And if you go to any company which is making transformers, they don't have the time right now because there is so much of demand. Okay, because there is an electricity shortage in the country and the government is really pushing hard to increase more wind and solar across the country. Solar parks are being done, wind parks are being done, individual solar is being given benefits. So, okay. Now, after the transformer, if you are, then it goes to the transmission. You must have seen this photograph, right? This is called a transmission. So companies like G is General Electric. It's an American company, but a very, very good company doing transmission work in India. Then we have Techno Electric, Tata Power, Apar Industries. We have Skipper, small companies. There are many other companies which are doing the transmission. Okay. Then you have the high tension cables, Polycab, KEI, RR cable. Then you come to the substation transformers. Then you also come to smart meters. Now, government, what is a smart meter? Smart meter cannot be tampered with. In India, electricity stealing is very high. With this smart meter, you cannot tamper. So government has ordered about 25 crore smart meters, which will be installed in the next 6 years. So the entire space has seen huge demand. And there are very few companies who are able to cater to the demand. Okay, so this is the value chain of understanding green energy. Green energy is not only solar and wind. You have to also go to the transformer, transmission, high tension cables, step down transformers, smart meters. You have to understand the entire space, what is there. Another very important value chain I will show you. Now, if you have any friends, family, if who's doing this kind of business, you ask them, they will say, yes, we are doing very well. You have to validate. Whenever a fund manager like me shares anything with you, please validate. Don't believe us blindly. Validate whether it is the truth, whether these stocks have demand, whether they are growing in sales, whether they are not growing in sales. Study all the details of these companies. You can download my app, Value Stocks, and you can see whether these stocks are doing well, not doing well. You can study actually. Okay. So I'll show you another value chain, another thing. Go show that also, please. Sujit. So now understand. So companies, compressor and pumps, which we have not covered. Okay, compressor and pumps. So the solar pump in agriculture, pump is very important. There's a huge 18% of India's electricity is used in agriculture. And there is a shortage of electricity. So what right now, recently, the Maharashtra government in the budget gave 850,000 solar pumps to the farmers. Okay. So there is a company called Shakti Pump. You have to see the prices, what happened. They own about 50% of solar pumps. Also done by the Kirloskar Group. Cummins India. So all are there in the solar pump space. Now, if you see the finance companies which actually finances this, which is PFC, REC, NIRIDA, many people don't know why these stocks are going up, because there is a strong fundamental reason because of the macro demand of electricity in the country. So the entire space is doing extremely well, extremely well, you know. And I'll show you the target, the government's vision for this for next 5 years. Government's vision for this, please. What is the government vision, you know? So you'll know what is the government vision. Okay, so government vision, we will harness, these are the government vision for the next 5 years. So when you invest in a stock, you should know what is the vision. Because see, you are buying something for future, correct? So you have to know what is the story for the next 5 years, 10 years. So these are the government vision. We will harness Bharat's renewable energy potential, targeting of renewable energy through solar. India's renewable energy capacity is projected to grow to 500 gigawatt to 2030, with solar contributing 275. India has 300 sunny days, so India is very good for solar. We will enable homes across Bharat to run devices like electric stoves, fan, AC, TV, among others, and also electric vehicle charging through solar energy, and also the solar pumps in the agriculture space. Wind and hydro energy is the second largest source of renewable energy in India. India is also trying to do nuclear energy. If you see, he went to Russia, he got a trading for, he got a deal with Putin for nuclear energy. If he goes to Australia, he tries to get into uranium and tries to include nuclear energy to build electricity. By 2030, the current installed nuclear capacity is expected to rise from 7 gigawatt to 20 gigawatt. So we also have to study stocks which is helping in nuclear reactors. You know, there are few stocks, but they are doing well. We will also expand the nuclear energy component of Bharat's energy mix through focus on developing small modular reactors, as well as increased investment in nuclear energy production. So India is working very hard, because the coal-based electricity will create a lot of pollution problems for the earth. So India is really working very hard to get into solar, wind, hydro, nuclear. Implementing also the PM Surya Ghar Muft Bijli Yojana. So many people, if you install it, you know, you can use electricity free of cost. There's a lot of benefits government is giving. See, whenever the government gives a benefit, you should know that that can become a very big source of that demand is very high and there is very little supply. Okay, next slide. So, you know, this is, we have already discussed, this is how the solar park looks up. If you see the solar park, we have discussed everything. So we'll also, the rooftop solar, this is how rooftop solar looks like. This is happening in many cities now. They are really doing this now. Some of them are making solar roofs and making a hall actually below it. So you don't know whether there is a solar up and you can actually use the hall. You know. So rooftop solar is a very big thing happening in the country. Next slide. Okay, as we have decided, this is the government vision. We've already discussed. This is the wind. We are going to increase it. Big time increase in the wind. Okay, please move ahead. Hydro, nuclear energy, as we discussed. The great vision for the nuclear energy. So there is a big energy deficit already. I'll show you. There is a graph. Can you show the graph, please? Next slide. If you see the graph on the left side, we are already energy deficit. And this is where the energy consumption is there in the country. So renewable energy is the fast emerging as the major source of power. Renewable energy, green energy, solar energy, wind energy, nuclear, hydro. These are all green energy. You know, there's different names. You can tell them renewable, you can tell them green, you can tell them solar, you can tell them wind. But all will develop, all will make electricity for the country. All will make electricity for the country. Okay, let's move ahead. So all these things, the heavy electrical equipment, all are going through huge demand right now. Next slide. Please continue. Okay, let's see the stocks. Let's see the stocks. Again, before I show you the stocks and the returns, can you please show the stocks, please? Okay, so again, there's a warning. You're seeing the stock, but this is not a recommendation to buy and sell. These are the different stocks we have researched. So what we did was we made the entire bucket of all the stock which is green, which is transformer, which is transmission, which is solar, which is wind. So we found out there are 108 stocks listed in NSE. Last 1 year return of these 800 stocks is 130%. Again, there's a warning and it's not a recommendation to buy and sell. Don't get excited because there are many things, we are giving you the whole thing. So these are the stocks. And if you see, there's a huge foreign institutions are buying these stocks, D2 are buying these stocks, like Websol Energy is increased by 700% in 1 year. Shakti Pump has increased by 500%. Transformer Rectifier by 490%. Oriana Power by 490, Indotech 393%. General Electric, a big American company, Inox Wind, Marine Electricals, Techno Electricals, Suzlon, HPL Electric. You see, Salzer, REC, Torrent Power, Voltam. See the sales growth. See, another thing which people don't know specifically when you do we only do fundamentals. There has to be, when you see such kind of stories, that also has to be reflected in the sales and profits of the company. You just can't buy a story. So if you buy a story, I always give an example. Your son or your child comes to you and tells you, Dad or Mom, I've studied for the whole year. I've done very well. He big stories. But in the end, you will see the report card, right? So the sales and profit tells you actually the story is real. So India is going through massive development in the electricity front, especially in the wind, solar, hydro, and nuclear. And the returns are amazing in these stocks. Again, recommendation, it's not a buy-sell recommendation. I'm warning. I'm a SEBI registered investment advisor. I'm a PMS manager. So we are telling you from a lot of research, but we have to give you the warnings. The showing stocks does not mean a recommendation. I'm just showing that what is the kind of demand. 25 lakh crore rupees will be spent on this area in the next 5 to 6 years. Everybody knows solar and wind is the future, but you have to organize everything. It's not only wind and solar. It is all the equipment manufacturers, all the consumer electronics, all the panel manufacturers, solar panel, all the compressors, pumps who are supporting, in the agriculture space. So if you see the sales and profit growth, it is massive. It is massive. So another thing which you need to learn is that, what we follow is we do the research macro, but at the same time, we always keep a very strong eye at the results, that whether they are growing in sales, because there are 108 stocks, we have only taken 35 stocks in our 5 strategies. If you go to a small case or you go to Dhan.small case, you can see value stocks, you will see our 5 strategies. So in all the 5 strategies, we have 35 different stocks in our different strategies. In one strategy, we'll have about 4, 5 stocks, 6 stocks, 7 stocks maximum. But we develop our strategy, the 30 stock strategy from different things. As per the SEBI rule, I cannot show you the returns, but if you are interested, privately we can show you. But officially, we are. You can even say we are generating some very high returns. You can see the stocks which we have taken. Okay, let's go to the next page. There's another page, I think so. So these are some of Alpex Solar. I think so last 4 days it has been buying freeze. It is in the solar panel, PFC, Schneider Electric, Cummins, SGVN, NLC India, they make energy, they make electricity with lignite, which also has 6 gigawatt. Then you have Skipper, JSW Energy, Ramratna Wires, NHPC, NTPC, ABB, Siemens, APAR, CG Power, Tata Power, Sterling Wilson, Genus Power. So all are in the space of electricity. You see the total in a foreign institution buying in these stocks is 30,000 crores in last 1 year. For the mutual fund buying is about 2,42,000 crores in delivery. Yeah. So that is the kind. So you and see the sales and profit. See, end of the day, friends, what is the stock market? It is the sales and profits of the company. So many people, many traders who come to us, we train them. You also, if you just see the sales and profit, you already hit the bullseye. I'll ask a very simple question. NSE, there are about 2,000 stocks, right? About 2,300 stocks, including the SME. If you put 30% sales growth and 30% profit growth, just the last quarter compared to the previous last quarter of the last year. If you do that, out of 2,300 stocks, how many stocks will remain? Only 218 stocks. That means 90% of the stocks just goes away. Why? Because sales growth and profit growth is one of the most difficult things to do in the stock market for any company. So if you can see that they are able to grow, to even grow, I'm sure there must be many businessmen people here. You observe, is it easy to grow your sales? Is it easy to grow your profits year on year? Now this electricity space or power generation space or green energy space or renewable energy space is growing tremendously. Why? There are very few companies which can supply this kind of demand. I'm sure after 5 years, there will be more than 100 solar companies. There will be more than 50 wind companies. There will be more than 100 transformer companies. Then the margin will shrink. Then this kind of returns are not possible, which is possible today. Okay. And if you see another thing which I want to train you, there is something called a PEG ratio. I don't know if people know. So if you study the profit, what is PEG ratio? P divided by the growth. So if you see the P is 59, can you please mark the P 59, please, Sujit? See, the P is 59 divided by 61. So what is it? It is not, it is about 0.90. So when the PEG ratio is less than 1, you can still make money in the future. Why? People ask me, sir, the share has gone up so much. Will it go in future? Now the question is, how do you find multi-baggers? What is the story? First, you need to know the right sector. The sector should have huge demand and very little supply. Number one. Number two, you have to find stocks which is growing minimum 30% sales and 30% profits. We have to see many other things. We don't have so much time to explain, but I'm explaining you that we have. So then, if you study, the valuation is still not. So a very simple question to you, if a stock is growing at 100% and you know the future is also very bright, till what P can you buy that stock? So as per the PEG ratio of Peter Lynch, it was PEG ratio is a very, very big formula. So, you have to learn. People know very sadly what I meant. They know about P. So whenever a stock is 50, 60, oh, it's very expensive, very expensive. Friend, they are growing at 100%. They are growing at 100%. There are many stocks in the country which has given fantastic returns. Okay, but you have to be careful, when you tread this path, because you need to exit very quickly also. If the growth goes down, you have to learn to exit. Okay, so right now I feel the story is very bright. Any correction in these kind of stocks of 10%, 20% is a great time to enter these stocks. And it looks very, very bright to me. Again, I'm warning, showing these stocks does not mean that I'm recommending you to buy these stocks. I've said this time and again, and repeating again, it's a warning. We are just trying to make you explanation that the entire electricity space, the entire power generation space is going through massive demand, massive sales growth, and massive profit growth. And I've shown you examples of 35 companies which are growing at an average of 35% sales and 61% profits. That is why the returns of these 35 stocks in last 1 year has been a staggering 200%. Will this continue? I think it will continue because there is a demand of 4,20,000 crore per year, and there is a very lack of supply. Okay, this kind of story will definitely is there for at least 3 to 5 years. After 5 years, if there are more than 100 solar companies, 100 transformer companies, then obviously the margin will come down and you will not get these kind of returns, which is possible right now. Okay, so this is the story for green energy. There is also another green energy which is known as green hydrogen. Okay, I will also share the story for green hydrogen. Pratham, till what time do we have the session? I did not ask.
We
Pratham,
have till 10 o'clock, sir.
10 o'clock. So we can continue till 10 o'clock.
Yes, of
How
course.
many people have joined? Can you ask? If I can't see the question, if they have any questions, can I take the question now and then I can shift to green hydrogen?
Sure.
So how do we take the question? How do we see the questions?
Let me just share the question. I will read out the questions to you, sir.
And also, can you tell me how many people have joined?
We have right now, we have 123 people with us.
So you can ask them how are they enjoying? Was the information good to them? So it'll be nice to see their feedback. Would they
Correct.
like to know more about other sectors?
Correct. So we have one question.
Yes.
The question is, there's a lot of sectoral rotation within the green energy space. So do you see certain subsectors like solar, wind, or EV that are more opportunistic at specific times? And how do you time our entries and exit?
See, we are fundamental investors. We buy and hold, So we enter through sales. We only trade 4 times in a year because fundamental. See, this is a wealth creation idea. So we are investors, and we enter the stock with growth and valuation, and we exit the stock with growth and valuation. Okay, so we were very bullish on RVNL and Titagarh. I'll show you an example that why did we exit RVNL and Titagarh. So you'll understand that how do we enter the stock and how do we exit the stock. We don't time the market.
Understood. We'll go on to a second question and then we can proceed further. The second question says, green energy stocks have been known to exhibit higher volatility. So how do you manage this in your strategies?
So basically, if you're holding it, high volatility, if you're holding it for a long duration of time, the volatility doesn't affect us. Volatility is there if you are doing trading. If you're doing trading, then the volatility comes into the picture. But if you are there for long term and the story is long term, then you just buy and hold. That is the main thing. So mostly the question is more trading related. I'll show you a small video. Let me show a video. Okay. Let me show a video to them. Let me complete the Titagarh because let us do one question. Let us complete Titagarh so they'll understand why did we exit. And then we'll show the video for this also, so that then we'll take the third question. So Titagarh we exited this time, and we were very bullish on railway stock. It has given phenomenal returns. So if you study there was degrowth in sales when see fundamental analysts, they actually see the results of the company, and there was a huge fall in the profit growth also, and the P was 66. So this was a decision we took to exit. I'll show you another example of RVNL. So again, there was a degrowth and the P is 85. So it became overvalued and we exited. So this is how you learn to exit a stock. When you see that the growth is now not happening and the P is expensive. So we enter the stock with growth and valuation. We exit the stock with growth and valuation. You will find the valuation of 2,300 stocks in our app, overvalued or not. You can see this is free of cost. There's no charge. So you can see every stock, what is the valuation of every stock. We give that. Okay. For the second question, I would like you to see a very small video. The difference between Tracy, everything is wonderful. Trading is wonderful. It uses technical momentum and then there is investment. But you should know the difference. So I'll show you a video of Nilesh Shah. It's a fantastic video. 2-3 minute video, but you learn a lot. Keep a pen and paper to note down the difference. Can you please show the video, please? That will answer the question of volatility and valuation and what is the difference between trading and investing. People should know the difference. Both are good, but you should learn to do both in their own way.
Camp as well. This whole topic that you keep discussing, investing versus trading. When you enter a stock, do you decide upfront that, this is going to be my long-term investment or this is going to be my trading bet? When do you make that decision? And as you go along, what are the key factors to look at while distinguishing between investing and trading?
So trading and investing can be compared as a T20 versus test match. When you are playing in T20, you don't decide halfway that, oh, it's a T20 and not a test match. You are going in T20 knowing fully well that you have 20 overs to score run. On the other hand, in test match, you don't start like T20 and halfway you realize that, oh, this is a test match and I should have played slowly and build my innings. So you have to decide upfront before taking an investment decision. Is it trading? Is it investment? Most people make the mistake of converting trading into investment when they suffer losses. This is not appropriate. The difference between trading and investment is fundamental. Trading is all about momentum. Investing is all about fundamentals. Trading is all about discipline. Investment is about discipline, but with a laziness. Trading is all about fast actions, split eye decision. Investing is all about watching your paints dry over a period of time. Trading generally involves leverage. Investment by and large is without leverage. Trading, you apply the concept of stop loss. Investment is all about averaging on the way down if the prices fall and value doesn't. So this is as different as T20 versus test match. The basic technique remains same, but you build your inning carefully.
Let me come on this. In fact, you said, in a trader's card, biggest rule is to never average their losses, to cut their losses sharp and to let the winners run. And now you're saying for investment, you can average. When do you average down on a stock in which you have conviction?
So the real challenge in investment is that you have to maintain your equilibrium. You bought a stock assuming fair value is X. Now, if the share price goes down and fair value doesn't, then you must average and increase your bet. You buy things as they become cheaper. You don't cut out because they are becoming cheaper. So in trading, you apply strict stop loss theory. Your bet goes wrong, you cut your losses, move to the next trade. In investment, you remain committed to that stock and you keep on buying more if fair value doesn't reduce, but for whatever reason, stock price is falling.
Okay, so those are some things to keep in mind. Clear distinction.
So this is a beautiful video. If you can see this video again and again, write it down. You need to be very clear. You are a trader or you are an investor. If you're a trader, these are the discipline. If you're an investor, this is the discipline. If you learn this, you can become a trader and an investor at the same time, and you can do both, or you decide that I want to be a trader and not an investor, or I want to be an investor. You have to be clear in your mind. Now, because of this not being clear, that is why you make mistakes. So when you talk of investment, it is all about fundamentals. There's no stop loss. I like this stock, it falls in by volatility, I buy more. That should be the confidence. In trading, you have to cut your stop loss and move ahead. So this is from the most brilliant person. I hope he's Nilesh Shah, head of mutual fund Kotak. So if such brilliant minds are telling us something, we need to learn. We need to understand that what are they trying to teach us. Okay. So I really recommend see this video before you start your trading or investment journey. See this video again, note it down, keep it as a mental, because it is all about mind and behavioral science. Your behavior should be very clear, whether I'm a trader or an investor. Okay. So the volatility doesn't mind in fundamentals. It's because we will keep buying. Volatility is important for a trader, not for an investor. Okay, next question.
Very insightful, sir. The cricket analogy was very good. We have another question. Dinesh Kumar wants to know, are there any parameters that one should watch for the long term?
Yeah, so there are parameters I can show you. I'll open a company. Let's open the company. We have RVNL. So if you study, you have to study the sales and sales growth, ROE, net profit, net worth. You have to see the cash flow. So you get a fair idea. Then you have to see the valuation, PE ratio, PS ratio. You need to know the volume. If it has less volume, more volume, you need to see the risk, D ratio and pledge. You need to know the returns, what is given, and the details of the valuation, the share capital. So what is the sector? What is the subgroup? So we have made a one page which gives you about 10, 12 major factors which you need to learn, parameters to decide for a stock. So it is freely available. You download the Value Stocks app. You can see 2,300 NSE stocks only. We don't have BSE research. You can see NSE stocks very easily. Okay, 2,300. Next question.
So we have one question from Mangesh. Will semiconductor manufacturer have bright future, and which are those?
Yes, it has a bright future, and we'll be covering if Dhan will invite me, and we will do a semiconductor session. We have to go in details, So, and then we'll give you the stocks also when you attend that day. But again, a warning that stock does not mean recommendation to buy. Next question.
That's all the questions we have, so we can carry on now.
Good. So let's start. There's another part of green energy, which is known as hydrogen. You should know what is happening in the hydrogen space also. Okay, so let's take hydrogen also. So we'll share more knowledge. Okay, so let's study green hydrogen. This is part also of green energy, and the government is highly thing on this green energy, the green hydrogen. So first we have to understand that how green hydrogen is made. Okay, so let's see. If you see coal, gas, oil, they go through a steam reformation and cracking process, and then you see the line. Then there is H2O. So basically, it's a water gas. It's a water gas. This is how it is made. Another way to make it is through the solar, and if you see up solar wind. So through water and through electrolysis, hydrogen is made. So that this is known as the hydrogen gas. So now hydrogen gas is becoming very, very popular. Okay. Then if you study, there is a ammonia. We'll go in the details of each one, but you see the diagram, so you get an understanding. Then you can use this hydrogen gas, and you can convert to ammonia, which is very big for the food production and crop production. Okay. Then if you see it goes down through the grid services, you can transfer the gas, and then it can go down to in the petrol pump. In future, you will see hydrogen gas, and then your car will have hydrogen engines, and buses will have hydrogen engines. So this is the future. This is also part of green energy. Okay, so this is going to happen in the country. It's already happening. Okay, so let's go in the details. Let's go in the presentation details. So production of hydrogen, green hydrogen is produced from electrolysis powered by energy sources like coal, oil, gas, using renewable energy sources like wind and solar. Water is split into oxygen and hydrogen by a process called electrolysis. This involves passing of electricity through water to split the water molecule into oxygen and hydrogen molecules. The resulted hydrogen is stored for future use. So this is how hydrogen is made, green hydrogen. Next slide. Hydrogen can be blended with natural gas and transported on natural gas grids. Ammonia conversion, hydrogen can also be converted to ammonia for distribution, then converted back to hydrogen at destination. This ammonia is used for agriculture. Okay, so that is another way hydrogen is being used. Then you have hydrogen can be blended natural gas, transferred to natural gas grids. Ammonia conversion. Next slide. So ammonia, half of world's production depends on ammonia. So you can imagine, green hydrogen will become a very big thing for the future of production of food production. Okay, ammonia production is currently highly carbon intensive. The carbon density can be significantly reduced where blue or green hydrogen is used in the production process. Hydrogen is fundamental building block for the manufacture of ethanol used in the manufacture of many polymers. Hydrogen is also used for the processing of intermediate oil products in refineries. Next slide. Hydrogen can be an alternative fuel for heat-intensive industries for domestic heating. And in transportation, most hydrogen is used through fuel cells, which can power most modes of transport on land, in aviation, and for maritime vehicles. Governments may focus on large applications where battery storage is less optimal and recharging more difficult. So let's see, I'll show you an article that what is the future. What will happen after 10, 15 years? What are you going to see? So this is the hydrogen train, which will run with complete hydrogen gas. Can you imagine? From water, you will be running trains. Okay, so there's a full article, you can take this article from newswaker.com, first hydrogen train, download the article and read the article. Okay, if you go down, so this is going to be this is the future right now. So cars, trains, even the ships will be with hydrogen. Okay, let's go to the next one. Let's go to the next one. Yeah. Okay, what are the stocks? Can you please show the stocks? Please close this, please. Yeah. So what are the stocks which is already? So right now, if you study, India is already making only 2.02 MMT, million metric tons in hydrogen only. And the forecast production is about 5 MMT by 2030. Okay, stocks which are doing very well, again, not a recommendation, I'm warning, which are into hydrogen and doing very well is Oil India, NTPC, Oriana Power, Gujarat Gas and GAIL. So these companies have already started. The government has told all the oil companies to start doing something with green hydrogen because they have through natural gas, through coal, you can make green hydrogen. Okay, so this is the future of green hydrogen. So we had to cover the entire green space. So one is called the solar power, the wind power, and then we have the green hydrogen. So this is the entire green energy of the country, which is going to happen in the next 5 to 10 years. So investing in these stocks, we might give you a lot of big returns. Again, a warning that it is not a recommendation. Think about it, study, learn, make a vision for the next 5 to 10 years. See, as a very intelligent person told me, that, what are you going to buy after 10 years? If you can do that today, then you become a very rich person. So after 10 years, we will be into electric vehicles, semiconductors, solar, energy, green hydrogen. That is going to happen in the next 10 to 15 years. If we can find those stocks today, and your children, grandchildren will ever thank you. This is fundamental thinking, long-term thinking, understanding the future, then buying those stocks and keeping it. Then you create wealth. Okay, so I hope you liked the presentation. Let's take the final question before we end. Pratham, was it good for you?
It was very insightful for me, sir. I was hooked on my chair the entire time. I'm still here. So very nice, sir. We also got very nice comments. We got one from Bappi ji. We got one from Pramod. Really
What are
great.
they saying? What are they saying? What are they saying?
Pramod is saying really great information, sir. Bappi is saying yes, sir. It's very helpful to us. It's very useful to us. Kamlesh is saying nice, sir. Uh, so we got a lot of good comments, sir. I've already shared the information with your team. Dhyaneshwar is saying thanks for good information, sir. So everybody is really appreciative of what knowledge and what information you have shared. It's really great.
We have 8 more sectors. We have the infrastructure, we have the semiconductor, we have the electric vehicle. Same story. What is happening in the country? What are the stocks which is doing well? So hopefully we can do this regularly and we can transfer the knowledge.
100%, sir. 100%, sir. Look forward to it. We'll start with the semiconductor session first because that was requested by one of our viewers over here, and then we'll carry on. We have more comments coming in. Swapnil is saying very thoroughly analyzed, sir. Thank you. Nandini is saying eye opener session for me, sir. So I think everybody appreciate the session. We have one question, sir,
Yes.
which is from Mani. Mani is asking to make hydrogen company, the company needs to do capex, and after capex, how much time will it take to get operational?
So that leave it to the companies. It is done by the government of India, so capex is not a problem, and it is not very expensive, by the way. Not very expensive. Not very expensive. We'll next time probably we'll go more details. I don't have the details in the hand right now.
Perfect, sir. We have some good info. We have some more comments coming in. Ranjan is saying great information. R. Kumar sir is saying good information. Um, I lost one session. Anchal is saying it was a wonderful session as you were so passionate, it increased our interest. So that is very nice, sir.
Good. So we'll show how they can invest. Can you show that how they can invest through Dhan? Do you know? Can you show it yourself, Pratham? Do you know how to show through Dhan? They can invest in our strategies.
I will link it in the pinned comments, sir. I will. So everyone who is watching this, you will see a pinned comment. After the live session, you can click on the link, and it will directly redirect you.
So you can just invest in our strategies. I can show you whatever we have in small case. Then you can link that to the Dhan.small case. There is somewhere you can invest in our strategies.
We already have attached the link in the description section. If anybody wants to invest or at least check out value stock strategies and schemes that they have, they can just click on the link in the description and they will be transported to that site. So,
okay. Do you want to show them live if this link is available with you?
I cannot show them over here. So we will have to end the live session over here.
Okay. Okay, thank you, friends. Thank you. Hope to see you again. Enjoy investing. Decide whether you want to be a trader, investor, and both or both. Decide.
Okay,
Thank
folks.
you very much.
Okay, folks. Thank you so much. Thank you once again, Shailesh sir. It was an honor to host a session with you. Such a privilege and very great information. Got to learn a lot of things. I think that's the same thing that our viewers would also say. So, all right, folks, we'll end the live session over here. Please take care. Have a good night. Thank you.
Good night.